This is RC.
It's your girl K Marie.
Hey Wilk.
It's your boy Black.
Your girl Lady.
And I'm Sir, and you listening to
2020.
2020.
2020.
2020. 2020.
2020 podcast.
2020. I did that one for you.
Thank you for tuning into 2020 podcast. I'm your boy Sir, and in case you hadn't listened to the last episode, this is part 2 of our conversation of Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin. I was about to say Baldini. I don't know where I got that from, but James Baldwin's conversation. We're just discussing what she really meant when she said "lie to me." If you haven't peeped the conversation, when you go to YouTube, just type in James Baldwin and Nikki Giovanni, and you're bound to find it. It's a 2-part, 2-hour conversation, and I absolutely love it. I've watched it about 3 times already. So I definitely recommend you give it a check out before you listen to this episode. But if you don't, I understand. You got to work. You got things to do. You just came here to get to the podcast, baby. I'm with you. I'm with you. So without further ado, I present part 2. Yeet. So it's a chain cycle of us being born and taught, don't cry, man up and stuff. And I get that. You got to be tough sometimes. And we got to stand up and deal with things. But we have to listen to the portion of people that tells us, come here, cry. You have to listen to the woman, the motherly instinct that tells us, come here, lay your head on, listen to my heartbeat. I don't know about y'all, but the most soothing thing to me is laying on my girl chest and just being there.
But not many men are actually going to listen to that.
I'm going to tell you why, because they're taught not to. And I'm going to tell you another reason. They believe it, but the one time that they try to open up, you get, and I hate to say it, that there's women, y'all have a tongue that's sharper than anything in this world.
My God.
Yeah.
When a man exposes his heart to you, and regardless of what you think about it, if you bring that back up in any negative way, I will never open my heart to you again. And you have cursed the earth with another dog, whether you realize it or not. Because now you've confirmed everything that I was thinking beforehand. Why do you think men... I was just telling Casey, I'm writing a book now about how men... You know how often we'll be wanting to send you a text, we'll read the text and delete it? We do that. No, but see, I understand, but you got to
listen to it now.
See, and I'm gonna come back to that. We do it too. That's a whole nother topic. Yes,
it is.
That's a dangerous mindset to have when we're telling y'all to listen sometimes. So we'll come back to that. But we will revise things in our head over and over again to try to get it over the right way without coming off as weak. Because we are taught to be hunters and be strong. So we're trying to convey something and let you in, but at the same time not give you too much. So if you ever have a guy that you're dating and he's acting kind of weird and you don't know where you are, it isn't that sometimes. Some guys are negligent in trying to operate in the gray area. Sometimes good guys don't know how to convey that they are really feeling you. So when we're like, damn, I really, y'all might leave the room. And it might be us three. I might be like, y'all, I'm kind of feeling Ebony, bro. Yeah. Like, she's really cool. Like, and I might have to get confirmation from them that these feelings are all right. Yeah. And what sucks is it's a whole generation before me that should have taught me that. But they didn't because they're going through what? That same cycle that hadn't been fixed. So...
And they teach you survival. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because now it's all about self. Because now that one woman has scarred me, I'm going to tell my son, look, you get out there and you fuck everything when you turn 18, put a condom on, you go to school, and don't you worry about these girls. They will get your money and you just don't get married. That's what's happening.
School, college,
but it's more mothers telling their sons that than fathers, though, really.
And that's because fathers are not connecting with mothers. This is the baby mama era. Yeah. Look, the most famous baby mama song, Accusations, Billie Jean. Yeah. Look, really examine that song. Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl talking about I'm the one. Kid is not mine. We kind of, without even realizing it, and there's a story behind that song, I get that, but we jam into a song that's fucked up. Like, that's not an ideal situation. Right. So we're glorifying this baby mama and baby daddy thing, and listen, I understand things happen. I'm not finna down talk anybody who's had a child before marriage. I get it. It happens. When you're a teen, you're curious. Yeah. And then we need release. You gotta have, them hormones and stuff get to happen. So you get looking good, sundress season, stuff happen. But you have to take yourself from the situation. We need that person to be level-headed. I understand that being a baby mama or a baby dad, it's easy to be spiteful. You cannot like the other person, but that child does not need to know that.
Yeah.
Right.
The other people around you does not need to know that. Your mom does not need to know that. You don't need anybody that's willing to co-sign talking trash about other people will do the same shit to you.
Yeah.
So watch your circle. So I'm a firm believer. Like my brother, and I ain't trying to put this business out there, he has a baby mother too. And if anybody asks him anything about him, he's gonna praise him. Oh, the mother of my kids, she's phenomenal. She does everything she can. When I can't step up, she does great things. That's how it's supposed to be. The team concept is gone.
Yeah.
So we have to bring it back up.
Well, we have a team concept. It's like it's not lie to me anymore. It's like we gonna lie to y'all. And some of that, the social media has started that because people relationship be going through hell in the home, but on Facebook they're a whole nother turn way. And then you're trying to make stuff work for the wrong reasons. Like, but dang, our picture got 1,000 likes, so maybe I should, work it out with him. So that way we're not fixing nothing. That's a masker and a deceiver. Because like Coleman said on Driving Me Wild, like Ryan and Reese or Kamara and Russ, relationships could be dead but look live to us. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we do that. And the back to the church is the most segregated part. I was complaining about some stuff. I ain't gonna say about what, but I was complaining about some stuff. And God was like, well, do something about it. And I said, okay. So I started doing something about it. And that's the same thing with the church. We did something about it. Like we broke away from, the white church or whatever that case may be. But then what did we do? We went amongst our own and started segregating.
That's true.
Church of God in Christ, Baptist, Methodist, Southern Baptist, and different stuff like that. So now you got some people who like, well, I ain't gonna go, to that Baptist church because of X, Y, and Z. Or I ain't gonna go to that holiness church because of X, Y, and Z. If we broke away from being discriminated against and treated badly, why are we doing the same thing to our own kind?
Monkey see, monkey do.
The same thing, respect to Nipsey, but the same thing with that. Instead of us, the people who knew him or the people who just thought it was just a bad situation, instead of us saying, that was sad, we need to, come together in our community, we on Facebook dogging people. Oh, y'all should be like Nipsey. I wish there were more Nipseys around here. Y'all men ain't nothing. Y'all need to, It's like we get tossed to and fro with everything that goes on, and people put their, emotions instead of rationalizing what's really going on. It ain't the time to dog nobody because somebody just died. If anything, it's time to see what he did together in the community. And I don't care about him being a gang member, all that stuff. That's not the issue. But what he was doing in the community, people who dogging him in the church, not even doing that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And see, that right there, and people around me, they know I have an affinity for the y'all read comic books, y'all live on comic movies and stuff like that.
You gotta see what you are.
Man, look at
Okay, all right, then. See, anyway, the Batman, he's the Batman. He the dopest. He probably one of the dopest comic characters to me because of what he stands for. You know what I'm saying? And that I think is in line with what we're talking about right here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the thing is that you take for this particular instance right here, you take Thanos. I like Thanos. He's probably the perfect villain simply because he's a Titan, but he's human. But then he had an objective. He had a thing. He was so hard pressed to get something done that he sacrificed everything to do it. Okay. Not that I agree with it, but in the first Avengers or whatever like that, he deserved to win as far as that much go. You know what I'm saying? Because he was decisive, especially with a lot of the stuff go. And you take the Batman right here. You know what I'm saying? The Batman, he something was going on. Gotham City, it was a mess. You understand? The dude, he killed his parents. Okay, I mean he is like he could have went over here. He could have bought every politician or whatever like that and got it done. But now what he do is I want to get out here. I want to kick somebody in their behind. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what he did. He got out there. The Dark Knight. He got down there and he did what he became Batman. And so here's the thing with that. There was a thing that we were talking about emasculation. I think Nipsey, for the lack of a better term, I think he's perfect. He was a gangbanger. Okay, yeah, he was, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, many would call that toxic masculinity or whatever like that. And I get that. But I think he offset that idea by giving back to the people. Okay, everybody knew that Nipsey was a gangbanger. He was representing Crip. He was doing all this stuff. He carried guns or whatever like that. He rolled with some bad people. But at the same time, though, he was giving back, and he was kind of offsetting that. He was not only he was probably going through his own thing too, but he was also giving back to the people and letting, you know what I'm saying, providing resources out here so that we can start seeing some changes. Like I say, a lot of the stuff that they say he did, I didn't hear about until this happened, or whatever the case may be. But they want to sit up there, they want to talk down on us. And like I said, you was talking about, you know, he mentioned something about, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, well, everything, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, we sit up there chopping up about one another. And I'm just sitting right here thinking all these years, these women, they don't want to be approached no more. You know what I'm saying? They get tired of it. They just you know what I'm saying, it's always something. And so anyway, am I supposed to pursue you or not? You understand? Am I supposed to show interest in you or not? You understand? And so anyway, as a man, I don't necessarily know what I'm supposed to do anymore because of this aggressive feminine kickback. And I'm not saying that they don't have any reason, that they have no reason to feel the way they feel. What I'm saying is that I don't know where I fit in. And so anyway, you know, couple of women in my past, you know what I said. So anyway, if they acted aggressive toward, I'm 6'3", man. I'm a big dude, and I get that. And, you know, I can go out here and I'm telling you, whoop any man or woman, whatever like that. Not saying that for the sake of conversation out there that I can, but you know what I'm saying. So anyway, but I know whether somebody can come and kick me, spit in my face or whatever, and the things I do to them would be so humane, they'll get mad at me even still. You understand? For me defending myself, for me standing my ground. And so anyway, so what I'm gonna do is, and it was hard for me, and I just had to get a hold of the mindset about, well, if my mom used to say, well, if they messing with you, just walk away. And I'm like, I can't do that. I'm like, look, there's a lot of people out here with a Napoleon company. Who gonna mess with you, Howard? Who gonna mess with you big as you are? You'll be surprised. And so anyway, so me, I just step back. I'm more or less reclusive. If I see somebody getting done, I'm gonna go over here. I know what I can do. I'm scared of me. I'm not scared of you. You understand? And so anyway, and so, you know, and so when it comes to that right there, and when we dealing, you know what I'm saying, like I said, it's the same thing with dealing with women. It's dealing with, you know what I'm saying, all of that. I understand that. Like I say, it's a survival thing. I have it in perspective. I don't even know how to go about healing from that. I don't know if I should heal from that. I don't know if that's a thing, because this is an unnatural situation that we in. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I supposed to do? You know, what are we supposed to, you know, how am I supposed to conduct myself? And so I'm just going to go over here. And so anyway, there's been some, you know, there have been some women who, you know, so they said that they don't want to.
I'm fine.
Yeah, there have been some, thank you. There have been some, you know, and so here's the thing, here's another thing too. And like I said, I'm not, you know, I can go on this forever, so I'm going to try to hush after this. But, but there was but anyway, what I realized is that, you know, so they say, you know, and I really needed to understand what they meant by dominant. I want a dominant male. And so anyway, I'm like, you know, so anyway, see me, you know, I'm thinking, you know, when I rampage, you know what I'm saying, I'm thinking, you want somebody to beat you up? I mean, you know what I'm saying, what's that? You know what I'm saying? They say, no, dominant, you know what I'm saying, just come up there and beat it. And I'm like, okay, and so anyway, all of these years, I realized that I had the definition, at least of what they was trying to convey as dominant, wrong. And so I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And so now, and so anyway, the point that I'm making is, you know, no, you ain't finna go out there in public just smack no random woman on her behind or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just finna go and snatch her up and kiss her, you know, that you don't know her. No, you violating morals and ethics and all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's dirty. Okay, but then if they like you, they want all of that. And so, and again, since me...
If I like you, I don't want you smacking my ass. Because I don't know.
I'm saying...
Like a person, like a friend.
I'm saying, like, if they like you or in a remotely relationship atmosphere. Like, and so anyway, not like I said, I'm not saying that this is any of the dude I am. I'm saying I gotta walk on eggshells for me being, you know, and I was, you know, and I told another sister this. I said, look, I say, you know, women, they can get out there, they can, you know, women, black women, they got that much more freedom than what we do. They can go out there, and they can probably pop off at the police. They might get tased or something, you understand, or whatever the case may be. But if I was to go out there and pop off at the cops, me being big as I am, you know what I'm saying, with the bass of my voice and the way I come, them boys, they probably finna tase me, they probably finna shoot me, and then say and pull up what I did back in whatever year, whatever, you know, so probably pull up my school records or whatever the case may be. And so anyway, and so with this, I'm not aggressive by no means, but what is masculinity in this day and age? Like, yeah, I'm a masculine dude, but am I doing everything that a man's supposed to? Like, in reality, though, I really don't care. What you know, a real man do this, real man do this. I'm like, look, I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I got to live in my skin. You ain't got to live with the consequences I'm dealing with. So y'all can sit up here, y'all can think whatever it is. And so anyway, I'm just gonna sit in my corner. I'm gonna pray, meditate, whatever, and I'm gonna talk to some good people around the table, see if we can figure some stuff out. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, all of that right there, you know what I'm saying, older, that's one thing that I was going to get with too about the older generation, is that they dropped the ball. They didn't talk to us like, okay, y'all meant well by just kind of going along with the program. Y'all meant well by wanting to shield us and be, you know, so not wanting to really acknowledge that right there. But the road to hell is paid to good intentions. You meant well, but we dealing with a lot of the similar things, probably not quite as blatant as they live. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, with all of that right there, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then on top of that, a woman, they have an idea in their head what they think a real man's supposed to be, but what that's in their head don't really fall in line with, you know what I'm saying, the proverbial laws of physics in this case. You know what I'm saying? But so, I don't know.
I say this time, just approach women. This for man and woman. Instead of approaching people, want a relationship off the top. You don't know them. Approach them with friendship. I want to get to know you. Approach everybody with, I don't care how fine it is, how spiritual they seem.
I agree.
Approach them with, I just want to get to know you. That's it. Now, as getting to know each other, if you vibing right and y'all feeling that extra stuff and y'all want to be together, then you be together. But don't approach it as, I want to be with you. You so fine, you so beautiful, you so handsome, you so smart and sexy. I want a relationship. You don't know that. Mm-hmm. You don't know. We need to take our time and get to know each other. Yeah. And if you're approaching everything as friends, then you're not putting everything out there at first. And then when she say, I have a boyfriend, or I got an old man, or I'm not interested in you, you're not feeling as bad because you're not coming on too strong in the first place if you're approaching it as friends.
Well, I agree with you with that, but there's a different sub group that's going on. And there are women nowadays and men who are entertaining others and stringing them along and getting a kick out of them.
That's what I was going to say.
It's so prevalent.
I've seen some things.
It's so many times where I've been a victim of it. It's just fun, you know. I'm just, you know, we're just talking. It's just, you know, I got my dude here, but I'm gonna hit you up when my dude get on my nerves or he at work. You know, I just need something to do. It's so prevalent. Yeah. It's so prevalent. It's scary.
And they're more and more open about it.
Yeah, it's something to celebrate. Yeah. You know, and it's talked about, you know, it's okay, you know, I'm just going to talk to my boo or my sugar daddy who don't want no sugar. Yeah. What kind of ish is that, man?
It's all kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So, going back to a couple points y'all made together as far as separation in spirituality and church, their perspective, and if you watch them, I would say it's easy to take what they say as if they were atheists, but they're not. They're just
free spirit.
Yeah, agnostic at its worst, I'll say. They believe that the concept of God to white people is different than the concept of God to black people. Two separate entities. Because Nikki made it a point to say, yeah, we took Jesus and we made him ours. You know,
but that's the thing. That's another thing she mentioned too. How we just hold on to Jesus. We don't even. If you stunt your toe, you're more likely to say, "Oh Jesus," than you are, "Oh God." Right. For some reason, we take Jesus more than we take God. We only use God when we need something. We don't really call on Jesus we don't really call on God when Brittany ain't getting. When. You know, when we meet somebody, oh, thank you, God. We're not going to say that. We're going to say, yes, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. But when something bad happens, oh, God, please help me pay my rent. Oh, God, please help my car start. It's God when you're in trouble, but it's Jesus when something good happens.
Like you had something to say?
No, I'm listening.
Oh, okay, you absorb it.
That's how I took what she said.
No. That's a new viewpoint for me. And I agree. Now that I think about it, I agree because I still don't understand what's the debate about what Jesus looked like. Like, if you believe in the word, if this was the Bible,
so
if this is
true. So we should only be picturing the spirit instead of a color. Is that what you're saying?
In a sense, I look at it like this: if you're as Christian as you say you are, if you're a devout Christian and you believe this book is 100% truth, well, that is in the book, so that is truth. What is there to dispute?
Right.
So, what are you not getting?
Yeah.
And so now your racism is showing,
Right.
and so I find it in that interview they talk about seeing white people and just they compared them to snakes. And it's like, they might not have the mind of a white person and they may have the mind of a black person, but I can't tell. So I got to play the game and I got to be for myself. I got to be in survival mode, you know, and that's just what it is. I mean, true, there are more biracial couples and things like that nowadays, but you don't really know. Segregation was just a generation ago.
I don't think it means much about interracial couples, though.
I honestly feel like some people were a fetish, and
yeah,
I'm gonna be real with you.
Exactly.
I've dated a white woman, 2 actually, and one didn't tell me her dad was racist until after we broke up, and so I was just being honest. So I was like, was I just a phase then? And she got offended, but I felt that her being offended validated the truth in that situation.
Yeah. And maybe she had something that wanted to spite her dad. That's why she kind of came to you in the first place.
Right. It was crazy. And people will love you. And this, the problem was I was at a certain workplace. And you're never supposed to have your honey where your money at. But I messed up and did that. So we were working together. We were really close, really good friends for like 3 years. And then we finally decided to date. And when we started to date, then my hours started changing. And people started, looking at me a little different. Certain people wouldn't talk to me no more. Then my lunch break getting pushed further out. I'm working later hours where she don't work. Now I'm like, okay. So regardless of what people say, there are snakes you see and snakes you don't. So, and I said the other day, I fear for biracial couples. And that's on both ends because no matter how much y'all may feel you love each other, how much do y'all relate in this situation? Like, what conversations are y'all having in comparison to the conversation you and I would have? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that relatability is that cohesion.
Yeah, bro.
And you know what I'm saying? And I think in relationships in general, these days, y'all kind of touched on it, and especially in those, in the racial sense, a lot of these relationships are forced. They just force y'all want to make it work because y'all think that's the thing to do. It's not necessarily the case.
Yep. I have a question. Since we were just talking about Jesus, race, church, kind of all together, I ran across something. It was on social media. It was pretty much saying how rich the black churches are. And why do we still have the white Jesus? Now, I know, I'm not being racist or anything, but I have seen and experience being around some black people. They get upset when you talk about a white image of Jesus. They want the white image. That's what I mean.
Right.
Oh, man.
They're upset about, they think that black people, we're being prejudiced because we want to change the picture. They're not seeing that, okay, no, we want to make the picture look like what the Bible say.
Exactly.
So many churches are scared to even change that image they have up in their church. But what is that saying about us?
You remember that? Yeah. You remember probably one of the first pop culture depictions of that was on Good Times. Y'all remember that? Florida, she said that the only savior I know is him, reporting after white Jesus. And so anyway, Michael had to flip through the Bible and show the description or whatever. And so and I mean, even in that right there, I mean, it's like, look. I'm not a Christian, but I'm not going to sit up there and knock it. I'm not going to, at least in that sense. Because white folks, so the white Christians behave starkly different from black Christians. You know, and so that image of white Jesus, I mean, you see people, and they don't. This is one of the things, and I really wish we don't start to understand, is that white Jesus is a symbol of white supremacy. It's a psychological warfare, and if you don't understand that, I remember a guy. Y'all may have heard this quote. He said, "If you adopt a God who is not in your image, if you embrace literature that teaches you to hate yourself and love your enemy, when you're God, you're enslaver. When you're oppressor, you're ensavior. Is one and the same. You become the principal agent in your own destruction." And so when I was looking at that now, it really made me think. I had to really go over that in my head. And like, okay, well, why don't y'all, I was like, look, man, y'all need, look at this. You know what I'm saying? I posted about it a long time ago. These days, I'm just kind of, just kind of whatever. But, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm not necessarily, I'm not finna sit up there and beat up on nobody, no black Christian whatsoever, because it's like a behavior, it's a behavioral thing. It's a conditioning, if anything, because you know what I'm saying. Like, look, something happened to them. Let's say 9/11. I remember I was riding with my homeboy back from Hattiesburg. We was coming through there, coming up airport. 9/11 had just happened. You got a whole bunch of white folks. They up there on the airport. They waving the American flags, honk if you patriot and all the other stuff. And like, look, no. That's how they react. Like, look, you attack us, we finna go ahead, we finna bang back on you. The general consensus with us is that you bang on us, we finna fall on our knees and pray. Okay? And so anyway, and you know what I'm saying, like I said, and I think that's more so of a thing of the older generation. I think, you know what I'm saying, they saw stuff. You know what I'm saying, they just want to kind of, you know what I'm saying, okay, let's, but, with everything that has happened, with everything that has gone on, we got the black, okay, you don't want us to be a part of y'all, okay, we're going to build our own thing. Black Wall Street, bam. Oh, no, we don't want y'all to have more than us. We finna come burn that down.
So do you think we're still oppressed? And that's why some of us can't accept the picture of a dark Jesus.
That's exactly what it is. And so anyway, like I say, they got everything. Everything is good on that white side. That white ice is colder. Yeah. Okay, and so anyway, you know what I'm saying? That white God must favor them. And so anyway, I got to sacrifice myself, sacrifice everything who I am, and try to become that. Even though you may try to forget who you are, they haven't. You understand? And I'm saying you, not saying you, but you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I just think the conditioning, the generational conditioning is a thing. Like I say, Marcus Garvey was a Christian. You understand? What's his name? He was a, so anyway, it's just the mentality to where we, and I was talking about this a while ago. A lot of these churches, and like I said, it's unsettling because I have six of my ministers, six of my uncles ministers, 2 of them passed. And so anyway, it's just a lot of them, and you hear about on Facebook, you hear little stories or whatever like that. They try to, you know what I'm saying, when something happened, Mike Brown, you know what I'm saying, Trayvon Martin, they try to curtail, they try to dead and try to diminish, dissipate that anger energy or whatever like that. And so anyway, that's why a lot of them, a lot of these churches out here, they're struggling, you know what I'm saying, to kind of stay open. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody have money. I'm like, okay, well, why in the hell don't y'all encourage your congregation, especially the younger children, to take up trades? Don't just tell them to go to college. Tell them to create a business. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, that is your congregation. They're going to give back. A lot of people, they sit up there, they want to be all mad about tithing. Like, no, you need to keep the doors up. You need to keep the building up or whatever. You understand? Tithe and all of that stuff. And so anyway, not all ministers are crooked. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, and so look, and there's a thing, like I say, and then, like I said, and I can get real deep into it, but, like I said, I'm trying to really stay here, but it's a reflection, and I think it's that conditioning. A long time ago, you know what I'm saying, in those slavery days, there was somebody sitting in church. Oh, it's a whole bunch of black folks right here together. Somebody have one of the house slaves, or somebody or one of the white people up in there. They sit in the church, making sure y'all ain't plotting on us to burn their plantation down to take us out, whatever. And so they got somebody or whatever the case may be. And I just think that's one of the things that has kind of carried over. And if you talk about doing too much or whatever like that, a lot of times they have that tax exempt status threatened, and they don't want to do that. So anyway, that's why our communities are still in the way when you ought to be doing outreach. Because if people were to be Christ-like, Christ went out there in the streets. He said, "Now everybody in the temple, everybody in the temple, they did did that right there. They knew they knew what they had to be. Okay, but I'm finna go out here and I'm finna go. We was talking about this. You know what I'm saying? You know, so he healed the blind. You bear testament to that power. You bear testament with somebody who could pretty much destroy you and sit there and you're like, okay, I seen what that man could do. Oh, he is definitely the Son of God. Even if wherever he go, I'm riding with him. And so, in worldly terms, that is exactly why the Romans, that's why they crucified him. They're like, oh no, we got to nip this in the book. And we've seen that played out with Dr. King. We've seen it played out with Malcolm X. We've seen it played out plenty other times. If you get that revolution, you finna give it to the system. Oh no, we got to go ahead. We got to nip that. Okay, but then stand right here with this right here. It's just like a lot of the Christians these days. They're more timid than anything. And one thing about it, though, and a lot of them, they really have to. And I understand that they got to be. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody be quick to call them hypocrite. Look, I feel like I'm spiritual. I feel like, you know what I'm saying. If God sent you here, you know what I'm saying, to do X, Y, Z, you what you need. Look, first, self-preservation is the first law of nature. And so anyway, if somebody say you snapped off and be mean to them or whatever like that, you know what I'm saying, look, I can only do what I can. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm aware of my status, I'm aware of this right here, but you're not finna run over me. And so that's what people need to get it out here. So just being a good person don't mean being a doorman at all. And you know,
well, in the grand scheme of things, his color don't matter. But biblically, he was olive. You know what I'm saying? Feet of brass and stuff like that. It's not a church anymore, but the steeple is a venue now. If you go up to where the church was at, on one side of the mural, it's an olive Jesus. On the other side of the mural, it's a black Jesus down there. You know, so I asked some people, I said, did y'all know that? They're like, no. They're like, I didn't know it was that. In the majority of the black churches here, you know, they have the depiction of Jesus, which was, I think his name was Cersei, the picture, yeah, that's the actual picture that they show of him or whatever. But with the case of that, if it was a movie about Jeremy, would you want Tom Hanks playing you? You know what I'm saying? Like you still get money, and it's the story. It may say the story of Jeremy Evans. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want. You know what I'm saying? Even though your message is getting out there, your life is getting out there, Tom Hanks doesn't depict who you are. Right. Even though your message get out there, it's still a lie in the sense that, you know what I'm saying, that's not who you are, who you resemble. Yeah. So with the thing, exactly. So with the thing with the church, once again, it comes to pretty much us segregating one from another. Because I'm a firm believer that the work is outside the four walls.
Come on.
And when I don't know if y'all remember, well, I'm pretty sure I do remember when we was doing dumb stuff and all these young guys was killing all these black women. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, well, we need to, you know what I'm saying, we need to do something. And it died down. So before that, I was doing outreach because everybody like, oh man, Mobile need to come together. We need to do outreach and stuff like that. So I put, I'm gonna be doing outreach Saturday, starting at 10 o'clock. Let me know where y'all want to meet, man. I'm gonna be starting in this neighborhood or whatever like that. People like, yeah, we're going to get to do it. People to inbox me, yeah, man, shoot me your number. You know how many I did that outreach 5 weeks in a row on Saturday. You know how many people showed up with me? 2. Zero. Wow. Zero. Not on the same. Not on the same. Now put that on the same other hand and let TD Jake say, hey, I'm coming to Mobile. Right. I need some people to help me out. They got the same calls. The same calls now. Is the encourage change, is to help people, is to educate people. The same cause, but check this out. I don't have a heavy name like that. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's for the same cause, we say we want the same thing. We say we want change in the community, but let an outsider who ain't even from the community come in. But he got a big name and a big following, and guess what? You know what I'm saying? Preachers, pastors, bishops, everybody gonna be out there. And the thing about it was, I remember one time I went to I was over in Baltimore, and I was walking, and I saw the guy. That man had a big old, I don't know about the ounce, but that man had a big old thing of weed or whatever like that. You know, I just walked up to him. I said, hey man, I said, what do you think? You know what I'm saying? The church can do more in the community to help out, to do more. You know what I'm saying, in the community. Young guy, you know, he put his hand behind his back and kind of like hit it and was asking me, no sir, yes sir, we could do. You know what I'm saying, this and that. You know what I'm saying? It all starts with a move. I ain't gotta come in there with a robe on and with a collar thing like that. If your purpose is to really help the youth, is to really help, and not even the youth, just to help people in general. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Because I was going someplace and it wasn't even rough. I went down to the Bottoms, the Avenue, RV, Baltimore, stuff like that. Ain't stuff like, you know, like, man, I should have wore a vest and like that. Yeah. But some preachers, they not going to go that way. Exactly. Either they feel like they're too better to go down, or they feel like, you know what I'm saying, they feel like they can't get nothing from them. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll go where they can get something from them. Because guess what? If somebody die, guess where that preacher going? He going to that, well, you know, I got a funeral home right here, you know what I'm saying? If y'all want me to bury him, they gonna go there then. But to talk to John, Sue, Jane, Paul, whatever like that, they ain't gonna go there just to minister to them. Especially if you're not gonna come to their church and give you some of their money.
So you feel me on that? You was understanding where I was coming from.
Yeah, I love outreach. I told my whatever. I mean, not to y'all, but whatever. Before I say what I'm finna say, I told my pastor, I said, if I never was to ever get a church, I'm fine doing outreach. I love outreach. Because that's where you're free at. Inside the church, it's so many rules, so many, you know what I'm saying, business, political stuff. You can't do this, you can't do that. You got to go by this, by that. And outreach, you're free. You're free. You know what I'm saying? You're free because we was doing, the church I go to, we was doing outreach down at downtown. That's where all the homeless and less fortunate people would, you know what I'm saying, would be. And it was free. It wasn't no, okay, you got to read the scripture right here. Yeah. Okay, you got to pray right there. Have a God led you to minister to the people or to do to the people. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't need a prayer right then. Everybody don't need, you know what I'm saying, scripture right then. Some people just need some words or need a hug or something like that. Because some of those people that we bumped into that were homeless, some of the people were pastors. We walk up some were reading the Bible. We walk into some people like, yeah, man, I had a, you know what I'm saying, 6-figure job and life just happened. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if we're saying that we need to help people, and supposedly everybody inside the church supposed to have it together, but we're always inside the church, how are we helping the people that are outside the church? You know what I'm saying? So like when I told y'all before, I was complaining about stuff going inside the church as I felt about the church as a whole. And God said, well, do something about it. Yeah. Well, I am. I'm going to start doing outreach again. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to bring no glory to me, anything like that. But if people really need help and you see it's not doing something done, and I got 2 legs, a vehicle, whatever like that, then you got to do what you can do to make that change. Whether you get 1 person, 2 person, or 20 or 30, it's...
You keep doing.
One of my non-preacher uncles right there, like I said, because I really believe this cat, I believe he was the one that saved my life. He gave honor and glory to God. You understand? But, you know, like you said it in so many words. Sometimes, what he told me was, he said, sometimes he says a lot of people sitting in jail. A lot of people sitting in bad situations just because they didn't have somebody to talk to.
Exactly.
You understand? Yep. So, and I took that to heart. You understand? I'm sitting right there because, like I say, I didn't, you know, like I said, I'm, you know, I with all due respect to the older generation, like I say, they had a whole lot going on, maybe whatever. But then I think they were extremely negligent in not forging bonds. I'm like, okay, you know, you need to talk to people. You need to talk to them. And like I say, yeah, you might come in the name of God. You might come in this. Look, talk about the birds and the bees. Talk about these STDs out here and why you shouldn't be going and having sex with any and everybody out here. God might be in the midst of it, but show me how to balance a checkbook. Pool resources. Talk about things like that. Things of that nature. You understand? And aside from the rift between the generations right here, you understand? There's no bond. There's not an elder I can go to and write off that I can think of that I can sit down to and just listen to and talk about real world things like this. And it's not that they don't know, it's that they just don't want to talk about it for one reason or another. It's like, you know, and that's, you know, yeah, some things may be painful or whatever the case, but there's some things that need to be said too. And, you know, and we need to get out our feelings about that. And so I'm glad you said that, man. I said we tried everything else except for investing in ourselves these days. And so in that right there, that's one thing that we sorely need. Sorely need.
And that's going to do it for part 2. Do you agree with Hiram? Is there a disconnect between our generation and the previous generation? Is there a lack of communication? And what can we do to help that? What can we do to start that tough conversation? In the meantime, I need y'all to do me a favor. I need y'all to go to youtube.com, Look up 20/20 podcast, and I need y'all to subscribe. We are almost at 100 subscribers, man. And if I can get to 100, I might have a secret video for y'all. I might. I'm not saying it's something that exists, but I'm saying that I might have something. So hit us up, man. We're trying to get on that level where we can be worldwide. So help us help the community by sharing this. Share this podcast. Somebody you love, send this podcast to them. Post it on your page. Like it, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I got to get out of here. I'm tired. So yeet.